Welcome to SF Commercial Property Conversations with Bruce Bean, where Bay Area investments meet expert insights. Get ready to unlock the strategies of commercial real estate success.
So today we've got Jack Landers, and Jack has come from Florida to San Diego in a very interesting trip with a commercial insurance. I'm in commercial real estate, but he's in commercial insurance. So it's great to have you, Jack, and I'd just love to hear kind of your story of how you got from Florida to San Diego and being part of the whole insurance world.
You got it. Well, good afternoon, Bruce. Great to chat with you. And thanks for asking that question. No one, sits there in school thinking, gosh, what do I want to be when I grow up? I want to be a fireman. I want to be an astronaut. Not many are going to say, you know what? I want to go into insurance. And it fell that way. I met someone that was in the insurance business. I thought, wow, they're making a good living. They're providing a good need of an asset, something that people needed. And I thought, I can do that. This was right after college and did fairly well. This was actually in life and health insurance. So it was a good taste of the insurance business, but did fairly well. And at that time, I was in South Florida. They said, well, we can put you to, we need someone out in San Diego or Washington, D.C. I went up to D.C., took a look around. I went out to San Diego, looked around. I'm racing sailboats, catamarans as a hobby. I'm surfing. I said, I'll take San Diego. So I've been to San Diego now, good gosh, over 30 years. So I'm considered a native now of San Diego, California. And it's been a blast. I did that. Then I got into personal lines after the life and health, which was interesting. You were helping people with their personal needs, but it got boring pretty quick after, I don't know, 6-7 years. Desperately wanted to go into the business side, the commercial insurance side to help business owners. And all my continuing education was in that. So when I got the opportunity to go to the commercial side, I jumped on it. And I've been doing commercial insurance about 23 years now. And that means business owners, nonprofits, helping them with their insurance needs.
So are you still doing any surfing and sailing?
Yes, I am. Not as much sailing anymore, racing, but people think I'm crazy. I still surf at least once a week. The water warmed up to a 56, which I hate. I like warm water, so I go to Hawaii a couple times a year to the North Shore, and I realize that I'm not Kelly Slater, but I still go there and I surf 79, 80-degree water on the North Shore. Love it. And come back and I complain about the California cold water, but at least once a week, yes.
So once a week, that's nice. So you're wearing a wetsuit, it sounds like.
Right now, yes. Can't wait I have to peel it off, but I have to still, the water up your way, that's real cold water. But 56 is still cold, so I still wear it, yeah.
Yeah, you haven't come up for the Mavericks yet, it doesn't sound like.
Not yet. No, that's a lot of guts. I've surfed Sunset, I've done Waimea, but again, the water is 79, 80, so it's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah, more fun to stay in the water and kind of be out there. So that's great. What size boat did you race?
The catamarans, NACRA, Crindle, and Hobie Cat. And what I loved about that was, and we raced against Hobie Alter's kids. I think, why is he so much faster? And the reason I like sailboats, it wasn't so much who had the bigger wallet, who could afford the bigger, faster engine. A lot of it was skill, luck, timing, how you set your boat up. And quick story, I would had a regular crew for a while, but when I was trying to find crew, I was very sincere and I said, either going to take first or we're going to crash. Are you cool with that? So there was no second place. And,
nothing in between.
Yeah. I turned very competitive when I got behind the helm, saying we're going to win or we're going to flip, we're going to crash. And we did all that, all the above. And it was a blast. So good experience. And it really challenged you to figure out why that one boat was so much faster than yours. The same boat, the same sails. So that's what I really loved about it. It really made you more strategic, figure out, were they on a better tack than you? They had a better start than you. I really enjoyed it.
No, it's a very technical sport. I mean, every little inch, every little piece of breeze, you got to catch it just right. So
Yeah,
and now it's gone into this crazy high tech stuff that
amazing.
yeah. So
I'd love to sail on one of those. I've not done it yet, but I've seen it in San Francisco Bay, the foils. I'm like, my gosh, they're just. I'd love to take a
they,
ride.
yeah, well, and they obviously have become very dangerous because of the speeds they go and so forth.
Oh
But
yeah.
anyway, yeah. So that's a crazy, crazy wild world. So how do you market yourself?
You know, thank goodness it's referrals. And, I've been doing this long enough where you've heard that term over and over, the word trusted advisor. It's burned out. It's overused in a lot of ways, but it's still really relevant. What's going on, especially nowadays with the property market in California. So I've become a problem solver. I have a lot of even other agencies referring me business. I've become kind of like the problem solver here with commercial insurance. And as I said, I really enjoy what I do, so I really take a personal interest in each one. So it's referrals, and through CPAs, folks like yourself, accountants, CFOs. Hey, Jack can help. And yeah, as I said, especially with what's going on with the property world here in California.
Well, and that in itself, how much has the fire affected you? Have you seen any sort of backlash from the fire?
I'm knocking on this. I hope it's a wood desk. So we're not a laminate. Uh, no, we've been fine.
Yeah.
The issue was if, before talking to you, I was going to tell you, we'll go into more details about the property market in California, but things have changed since the LA fires, is what I'm getting at. So a month ago, it'd be a different conversation than today. With the LA fires, it's changing the landscape here in California. I know the insurance commissioner just announced he's assessing another $1 billion to the admitted insurance companies here in California, which ultimately is going to affect policyholders and or the appetite for carriers to stay here. Because the FAIR plan, it's in peril. And that's kind of like the California with the earthquake. That's what's happening. So big concern with what's going on. Yeah.
So just recently, I ran into a glitch with just getting a simple COI, a certificate of insurance, where the carrier, this was Northwestern, and they said, well, we're looking at every policy in California now, and even a simple, 1 day or 2 day turnaround on a COI is now going to take a week. And I'm going, wow, wait a minute, it's really happening everywhere.
As far as the COI, it shouldn't take that long. I mean, that's something
Ah,
I'm a little OCD about. When one of my insurers says they need a certificate, they get it. My staff
yeah,
turns
right,
down the
right.
certificate
Chop that,
immediately.
yeah. How,
But you are correct. The carriers are looking at every risk, any way to get off it. One of the things they're really desperately looking at is the electrical panels. If it's a
oh,
Zensko policy and Zensko panel challenger, there's a federal stab lock. They won't write you. Like, forget it.
really?
And if they
Wow.
find out you have it, they'll give you X amount of days. They'll get off the risk unless you're going to change it. And that's expensive, especially to apartment
Oh,
complex
oh
owners.
yeah.
Like, oh, and a lot of these were built, 1970s, whatever, 1950s,
Right.
60s. That's what they have. So it's become a big issue. And it's not going to get better for a little while.
So are you able to flip some of these people to different carriers so that carriers that are willing to take a little higher risk?
Yes, and real quick, Insurance 101, not to bore the audience here, but in California, we have admitted insurance companies and non-admitted, also called surplus lines. The admitted carriers are like the Hartfords, the Liberty. What they have their rates and their terms registered basically with the insurance commissioner. They get the approval. They can't modify these terms. So if the risk is outside their box, they can't touch it. So we have these surplus lines companies are called non-admitted. Now they're licensed to do business in California. They're A-rated. The only we deal is A-rated, but they can modify their terms. They can modify their rates without the insurance
Uh,
approval. So they can take these risks on and say, well, you know what? It's a little bit closer to brush, but we'll charge a little bit more or make sure the brush is cut back 100 feet and then we'll accept it. So yes, a long answer to an easy question. Yes, we have alternatives.
Well, but that's interesting. So are more non-admitted insurance companies coming into California now, or are they running away?
Some are running away because of this electrical panel issue still.
Uh,
But there are more, and you're going to see more because of what's going on with the carriers right now. So you're going to see less admitted carriers, in my opinion, and more non-admitted carriers come in. And I think it'll give the fair plan a better run for their money, a better alternative, because the fair plan policies, which you want to get into, it's just property. It's not liability. So
uh,
you've got to have liability on your property. I have many landlords, strip mall centers, and we've had a couple of guy owns 4 shopping centers. He has no property coverage. He said, forget it. No
oh,
loan, no mortgage,
wow.
but it's a large asset sitting there unprotected. He's got liability only. I'm like, but yeah. So he didn't want to go to the fair plan, and yeah, it's
Well, is the fair plan the least expensive or not?
no, the fair
No.
plan's expensive too. Yeah,
Oh, it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't use the word insurer of last resort, but it's kind of a way to look at it. Yeah, it's kind of like the insurer of last resort for your property right now in California. Yeah,
Well, that's interesting. Are a number of people going that route of not being insured?
they have. Yes, I hate to say that, but I'm seeing a lot more. Yes, where they're just, yeah, and especially on the small apartment complexes where
Uh,
money's tight, the margin's tight, and all of a sudden, they're going from $5,000 a year to $25,000 a year. Who pays for it? And now they got to replace their electrical panel. It's a big deal to these folks. The fair plan comes in and basically coverage for fire, explosion, smoke damage. It doesn't cover earthquake. It doesn't cover liability, and it's triple the cost. Yeah,
oh, triple the cost.
yeah,
Wow.
that's what we're saying. Yeah.
Well, are you seeing, I'm trying to look back here, are you seeing people coming in and making their own insurance company? What's that called?
Self-insured?
Well, yeah, sort of self-insured. They set up their own insurance company and do that type of approach.
No, there's been talks about it, but no, I've not seen that yet. No.
Ah,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I know what
So
you mean.
people aren't jumping on that bandwagon yet,
Not yet.
but it may happen. Who knows?
I
Well, it
think
sounds like the guy that's going flying naked is he's essentially self-insuring himself.
correct.
So,
Yes. Yep. Now, between me and you, and you're in this is real estate world for you, the leasing world. I won't mention his name, but I said, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a leasing expert. I look at leases almost every day. A lot of tenants will say, Jack, check this lease out. I'm going to sign. So I give them my insurance 101 on it, but not legal advice. But I tell this fellow, let's call him Sam. Well, I think your lease says you're responsible to rebuild that building, and the tenant has to provide you with a certificate that they have insurance. What happens if you do have a fire? You're obligated to rebuild that building, aren't you, per your lease? So
right.
I can see problems down the road. So,
Yeah.
yep.
Well, what do you think the standard coverage should be these days? 2 million, 1 million, 3 million?
Great question. We're seeing increase every day now. The standard always has been 1 million occurrence, 2 million aggregate. That's kind of the standard in the industry. I'm seeing requests for $5 million excesses all day long now.
Really?
We just got
Wow.
one the other day. It's a small little shop, little retail, little warehouse included. This for the tenant. So the landlord said, okay, we'll accept 2 million excess. So and then we're seeing even requests for cyber coverage from tenants.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's spread
Right.
everywhere. So, and we're seeing high limits, and it's not cheap. So
No. I've heard that the cyber numbers are coming down because more venture capital groups are getting into that insurance world.
correct.
But it sounds like it still hasn't come down very far yet.
Depending on the limits, we have accounts with 5 million, 10 million limits. Those get a little pricey. But other than that, no, it has come down. Correct.
Yeah, but maybe not a huge amount. And how many? What would you say the percentage of people getting cyber insurance these days is? Is it 10%, 50%?
I would say about
10%.
about 15%. Correct.
Yeah.
My
So
job is I love to educate them. I'm not selling them. I'm saying, look, here's the exposures, especially in California. So I run through the gamut. the biggest, besides your property and your liability, is employment practices. Third party, that's the employment practices. That's the wrongful termination, the harassment,
Mm.
the
Oh,
ADA,
right.
the ADA stuff. Oh, I've been discriminated. You got to defend against that. And I think this is unscientific. 80% of the businesses don't have that coverage. 80% of the businesses will have a claim against that. They do.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I
Wow.
try to educate that. Here it is. Look at it at least. You can, that's just part of my mantra with business owners. Absolutely.
Well, are you seeing obviously the increase of lawsuits these days just because of the whole law firm is kind of catering to that side of the equation?
Yeah, unfortunately, California is geared more towards the yeah the plaintiff on this stuff. As I said, I have a lot of respect for business owners, and they got a lot on their plate. They're juggling, they're providing jobs, and now they got to defend against this because most of those claims are frivolous and are bogus. But you have to
Yeah,
defend
right,
against them.
right.
We have a large pizza operation that caught a guy stealing, fired him. Guy turned around and sued. Well, you know what? You didn't pay him overtime. This is a hostile work environment. Just you got to defend against this garbage. Still, it's wrong. And yeah, a
Wow.
lot of it becomes a shakedown in a lot of ways. And same thing with the building owners and the landlords with these. And it was a big problem years ago. They fake ADA claims.
Right, right.
Your bathroom stall was 2 inches too high. It wasn't this or da 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 da. If they really were compassionate and wanted you to be in compliance, they should say, look, fix this, we'll give you 90 days. If not, here's your fine. But it's a shakedown.
Right, right, right.
So,
No, they just hammer the deal and the lawyers are involved. And
correct.
yeah, the one up here, the guy that was running all those basically ADA lawsuits up here now is in house arrest for tax fraud. So, so I think that area has slowed down a little bit, hopefully.
Yes.
But
Thank
I'm
goodness.
amazed at the number of landlords that ended up just paying it because they just didn't want to go through it.
Yeah, and what comes to light too is I'll have business owners get sued. Well, then who's responsible? Acme Manufacturing or Acme, tenant. Is it the
Right.
landlord? Is it the building owner? Is it the tenant? Again, what's on the lease?
Yeah, and the lawsuit goes after all of them.
Correct.
So
Right.
yeah, so it's just a nightmare. Well,
Yeah.
let's switch to a more fun topic about what's your favorite sandwich?
Depending on the day. Now, this is going to throw you for a loop here.
Okay.
The Vietnamese banh mi sandwich I absolutely love, but I also love the Louisiana po' boys. So,
all right.
fried oyster po' boy.
Two different areas.
Yeah, you said sandwich. Yes, I'm a foodie. You're not going to have one. I think I'll have one tonight, actually. But yeah, sandwich wise, that would be it. Yeah, the Vietnamese.
And who might you want to have the sandwich with, given your choice?
Oh, good gosh. There's quite a few people to choose on that list, but this may sound a little odd. He's deceased, actually passed away on my birthday, Jimmy Buffett. And I'll tell you why. It's not for Margaritaville, but of course I loved his music. Yeah, I loved his lifestyle. And I also ultimately respected what a businessman this guy is. He's turned his music and his following to books and resorts, hotels, and yeah, quite the business owner. A lot of respect for Jimmy Buffett. Yeah, I'd love to have a sandwich with him and have a surf, take him out surfing.
Oh, yeah. Well, all right. So you have surfed all over the place. So where's your favorite surf place these days?
It would actually be the North Shore of Oahu. Yeah, reason
wow.
being, water's great. There's a lot of breaks. It's called the 7 Mile Miracle. If one area is too crowded, you can go down the street a block or two and get a different break. Yeah, it would have to be the North Shore of Oahu.
Oh, nice. And so how much time have you spent in that curl?
Not enough time, but and I've taken my shares of lickings and beatings, and the first time at Pipeline, people, if you surf the story, you think, I'm pretty good. I'll go out there and It's absolutely true. The first time you go out there, over the falls, hit the reef, I come up laughing, going, okay, I got that out of the way. Let's go. So yeah, I have a lot of respect. I have a lot of respect for the Hawaiians that know that surf better than anybody. So I go there with a lot of respect, a lot of aloha, not to be corny, but enjoy my time and come back to San Diego and I surf cold water here. So yeah.
Yeah. Not quite as much fun, but still all good.
Yes.
Yeah. The waves aren't probably quite as good as the North Shore, but what can you do?
Yeah. No, there it's a quick analogy is here the waves moving out in Hawaii, the whole ocean's moving. There's a difference. Yeah. You feel the power.
So say that again. Hear the
You feel the waves moving, but when you're out in Hawaii, the whole ocean's moving. You feel the difference.
Oh.
It's a lot
completely you're more of a kind of a beach thing, but in Hawaii it's like the whole ocean is out there with you.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. That's a very interesting analogy.
And the reason I do it, Bruce, it's one of these things where everyone needs an escape. You know, I'm in the insurance world. I do my best for my clients. So it's one of these breaks. You get out there for 2 hours, you know, run out there. You know, it's good mentally, physically. It's my little escape. Some people golf, some people jog, ride bikes. That's my escape. It's healthy. And it's funny, the whole image of surfing has changed. Back in the day, it was the beach bum dropout. No, we got doctors, lawyers, CPA, everyone's out there. And we still act like goofy little kids, but when that's over, we get back to work and here we are.
All right. Well, if you're ready to get a hold of Jack for insurance purposes, or maybe you want to talk to him about surfing or sailing, where would they reach you, Jack?
The best is, and I'll give you my direct number, is the 619-668-2379 or my email, jlanders@teagueins.com, and that's TEAGUEINS.com. And especially when we talk about property insurance, I'm here to help. I have a lot of knowledge. Happy to help.
Wow. And property insurance is a big deal these days. So if you're having trouble, give Jack a holler because I think he can solve your problem for sure. All right. Well, great to have you.
Bruce, thank you very much. And I applaud what you do. And as I say, we're in this together. We got to keep California going. And I do my part on the insurance side. Well, and we'll try and do some deals together here. We'll try and refer each other some business. That would be fun. Thank you. I love helping tenants moving into, again, so I'm not an attorney, but I look at over the lease. Here's what you need. As far as landlords, just reminding them to collect their COIs, additional insureds. So if they have a policy ever gets canceled or lapsed, they get notified. All these things to keep everybody going. Yes. Yeah. Well, and so many landlords are not very good at that. That's my job. Yeah. That's the best. Exactly. Yeah. I would hire you just for that job. That in itself is a big deal. Correct. So anyway, great to talk. Pleasure. Thank you very, very much. We'll chat again. Very good. I look forward to it. Great day.
That's a wrap on today's journey through the SF commercial real estate scene. Ready to share your story? Visit sfcommercialconversations.com/guest. Your insights could lead the next conversation.